What is up, everybody?
I like that.
Hello.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big here, chilling with the guys at the New Friends Podcast. It's all of us here. We're all new friends. We're all doing the big. Like I said, my name is Ian. I'm your boy Big. And over here, I got my boy Matt, the Sancho man himself. We got Third Coast Nick over here. He's floating with all that wisdom, and I just love it.
In the clouds. I'm in the clouds.
And then right behind me, we've got the wild man himself, the one, the only, the mystical Flash. Mr. Richard himself.
I'm thinking about changing my name to Beers for Years.
Please don't. Please don't.
You know, but we'll keep it as Flash for now.
BYF?
No, it would be BFY.
BYF. Beers Years 4.
Beers 4.
Beers Years 4. So,
how's it going, everybody?
Yeah, man.
Welcome.
Well, you know what? This is a good way to start. Like, it's Saturday. We've gone through most of the week. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
How's everybody's week been?
It's been good. It's been good. You know, we had a long week at work. It's nice to be here finally with y'all, but fuck the bullshit, right?
I mean,
we're to hang.
The week was busy as shit, man.
Yeah?
It was super busy. Yeah.
What you have going on?
I backed up work at work, so it was just constant. I think I worked till like 10:30 on Tuesday.
What do? You don't have to be specific on the name of the company, but what is it like?
I
your
do
function?
graphic design, and
Okay.
I also cut and print out graphics for trucks and trailers.
Okay.
So big shit.
So like big stickers.
Big stuff.
Big stickers.
Fuck, dude, big stickers, dude.
Exactly.
This truck that I did on Tuesday was 12-foot decals that went across the truck.
And these are for like trucks that we know, like around. Like, can we spot your work in town?
Yeah, you could. I mean, I could. You probably.
I probably could. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, like the numbers you'll see on the doors and things like that.
That's
like,
you.
Yeah.
That's dope. And you've been doing that for like a while.
3 years.
Nice.
But some people, if you ever notice it, like the trucker, I never noticed till he started telling me about it, but you can see like the different styles of the fonts and everything that they do.
Like per
And you
graphic
can tell
artist?
somebody's designing that special font. In my mind, I noticed it, like I said, after you started telling me.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, every designer has their own.
Little spin.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They're kiss of beauty.
But you know, you see some of these Goliaths on the fucking road sometime, man, and they are spectacular, mystical beasts sometimes, these big rigs, dude. Like,
Yeah, I mean, some of their
lights
heads,
and
dude.
all this crazy shit.
So, Rich, Flash.
Well, I wish I could say my week went great. I gotta pay a fucking ticket.
The man got him, y'all. He fought the law.
$850, folks.
Well, you know what? That's what your ass get. You got to be responsible.
Yeah.
You got to be responsible. You're 30. You got children.
You know, man.
Hey, well,
You know, and let's leave my family out of this. That's
I'm not putting them in it. I'm just saying
but,
you had
you know,
those.
You know,
Those are the things that you
I
have.
learned a lesson, man, and once you learn the lesson, then sometimes you gotta learn the hard way, you know, to learn something at all. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
hear you on that. Cheers,
Yeah.
cheers for coming back on that. Dude.
Cheers for years.
I'm not cheersing bullshit. I'm not cheering. I'm not
it's all like,
cheersing.
Flash, you didn't learn shit.
What's the word? I'm not cheersing fucking bullshit.
Damn.
So
He's turning it around. So.
yeah, why? That's all.
Well, thank you, Third Coast Nick.
You're welcome.
Brightening up my day there.
I'm not cheersing.
ELE.
I'm not cheersing delinquent behavior.
You know that mystical beast you said you see when you're driving on the road? You're my mystical beast, buddy.
Richie's deemed me a lizard at times at work.
Now give him a kiss.
Oh, man, you hate
It's
my
2019.
man.
It's 2019.
So you guys, like, we're doing this audio for you guys, essentially, those of you listening to the New Friends podcast, giving you guys something that when we're away and you can't see our beautiful faces, that you don't miss us entirely. Because
you get the essence.
you still get the essence, the feel, the I don't know what, I don't know what it is, and
bullshit.
the bullshit, the bullshit. So today, you guys, we were chopping it up before this, and shout out to Flash. He's got us on Twitch live streaming on his page right now. Shout out to everybody who's watching the live Twitch as well. We do appreciate that, and make sure you guys follow us. I'm looking back at the camera for those who can't see us, but for those who can, I'm pointing right at you because you guys are important because of this guy. So we had an interesting little topic leading into our quintessential meat vibe of what the video could be. like it's coming up. It's August. We're coming up into the fall season, the pumpkin spice season. My favorite season, my basic white girl season.
Time for me to be basic.
That's my favorite season. Period.
Yeah, no,
I just remember October hitting and going to Michael's and just being like, oh.
Hey, if you haven't gotten a chance to the home goods store, they started putting out the Halloween shit.
Yeah.
A lot of places
are already doing
the Halloween shit.
Just like Christmas, Halloween comes earlier every year.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna have
Yeah,
Halloween stuff before kids go back to school.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's by some creepy shit all year long, but they only do it so often. So I'm glad.
Yeah.
Those Halloween stores already opened up too, right?
Spirit.
Yeah.
They're starting to. We haven't seen one yet
Crazy.
in San Antonio.
No, yeah, I don't think they've opened the one here just yet.
Here's a good question. Those Spirit stores. I have the same question about the Spirit stores that I do about tax storefronts. So they have a specific season. What do they do when their season's over? Like the Spirit stores. What do they do after Halloween's over and we're going into Christmas? Like, does the people who own Spirit also own Christmas stuff?
I feel like I know
sure.
the answer to that question.
Huh?
Tone, remember that's where he used to work, him and Linda, and they're friends of ours, acquaintances, from many years ago, but they worked there and they would say it goes to the warehouse and things like that after they break it down. But
all those people,
yeah.
I know they hire them temporary, but they have to have big business people behind it.
Somewhere.
Like, what are they doing?
Right? Playing with the costumes?
Just counting money, dude.
I hope they're playing.
Just playing with all the
They're around the warehouse just like, have a Merry Christmas.
Can you believe it? We only work 4 months out of the year.
These
idiots.
These motherfucking idiots. So leading into that, we were thinking about telling some childhood scary stories, as well as maybe some horror movies that we've seen recently or in the past that are our thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, by all means, fellas, don't let me be the only sexy one here. Who wants to start off?
Well, I guess where we can start is, I watched. You're gonna have
Do
to
it.
correct me on this.
Do it.
Just try it.
Llorona. Your.
La Llorona.
What?
Llorona.
Llorona.
Yeah,
There you go.
Aren't you Hispanic?
I am, but only on certain things. Only
on
the
certain days.
like the way my man Flash here says it. I only know the cuss words for my protection.
When someone's talking shit.
Never have I ever heard somebody say that to me until I asked him at work. I said, "Do you know Spanish?" Oh, only the cuss words for my protection.
That's fucking hilarious.
How honest is that though?
That's fucking
so
hilarious,
True. It's
dude.
so true.
I was being honest.
Yeah.
But Llorona. It was a great movie. I'm a big fan of The Conjurings and all that. I don't know if y'all have seen them.
Same.
Annabelle. I didn't know it even tied into Annabelle, but
Oh, it does?
it does.
Oh, shit.
Loosely.
It's very, very small fragment of it.
Yeah.
But it's the priest that's the one that carries Annabelle in the car. He's the one that kind of points them in the direction, the family that's going through the whole ordeal.
Of the
Spoiler
the brujeria.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Spoiler.
If you haven't seen it by now,
Yeah, it's because I didn't want
But,
to.
it's 'cause you didn't want to.
Watch it.
Yeah.
You still gotta watch it. It's a good
I'm gonna
watch.
watch it. I just haven't.
It's a good
I
one.
was gonna watch it tonight.
But
already
interesting
seen
thing,
it?
I was with a group of people last night watching it, and we were all discussing before we had even seen it the different tales that we've heard of Llorona between each other growing up. And one of us that was commenting last night about it is from RGB, so he's from the valley. So their lore, Rio Grande Valley.
Rio Grande
Oh, okay.
Valley, yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Shout out to the RGV if anybody.
My wife's from the valley. She's from Harlingen.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So their lore out there, their folklore is a lot different, similar to ours here, but I think a little bit tinge more scarier.
Okay.
But it's a little bit of everything within the whole same
Scarier
story.
how?
Well.
It's real?
Well, yes. and the reason I say that is because the curanderos and things like that exist. Well, they're from Mexico.
Yeah.
So the closer you get to Mexico, the closer that stuff's a little bit more real.
Yeah, they take it's not as washed down.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
this. I'm into that kind of stuff. Y'all know me. I'm into the mystical stuff. I'm out there into the weird things. But the things they would do in the movie as far as the spiritual things, I thought it was very on point. I know it to be on point with what they're talking about.
Their research.
Exactly. So that's what drew me in with it.
Yeah.
I didn't just take me and be like, oh man, because I had a group of people I was watching it with.
Yeah.
So it could have went that direction where I didn't care. but it's because I would see them doing the sage, and he was doing salt purifications into the water, and that stuff's. I mean, that's just true.
That's
stuff.
for real.
That's for real stuff.
So out of that movie, like, of course, it was a good movie. I liked it. You know, I know it had its ups and downs. I kind of feel like there's the stuff here and there that could have been a little bit more better, a little bit more jump scares per se.
Yes.
Now, but here's my question. So since you watched it, what would be like the scariest part out of your opinion that happened in that movie?
The scariest part, in my opinion, I feel spoilers. Sorry.
Again, if you haven't seen it by now, it's because you didn't want to.
I'm still gonna watch it.
Yeah.
There's a part where the mother.
Wait, don't give it away.
That's with the two little boys that the caseworker comes to see, and she finds them in the closet, and she has them locked up, and she has the eyes painted all over it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the way the woman's acting was, she's pretty scary. She's pretty scary, pretty psycho. I thought
the mom?
when she came at her with the hammer.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. And then when she showed up again, when she was the one coming into the house, and they thought it was the...
Oh, it was the ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And then she
fucking psychotic.
She kicked those seeds or whatever, and let the ghost in.
Like she asked it to come in.
Spoiler,
You know the part where they broke the line? Like,
yes.
Oh, man. Like,
the other part that really got me, too, is
Now
the
I have to
part...
watch it because y'all are all
You really do. It's pretty decent.
Well, see, I mean, so like in that, so I'm a major horror movie buff. Like I remember watching horror movies when I was 5 years old from my dad. Case in point, last night I had a hard time going to sleep.
Yeah.
So I went on Amazon Prime and I was watching a bunch of horror movies and I just fucking knocked out.
Well,
That's
tell
an
me
easy way to fall asleep.
this. You want to hear something even creepier? What were you saying?
I said that's a super easy way to not fall asleep for me.
Dude, for me, I'm just like,
Scary
I'm just
shit.
like, oh man, blood splattering on the wall, gurgling of death knocks me out just like a baby.
Like a cup of milk. Like
the sound effects that you use, it's like the ocean. You hear the wind, the birds chirping, and you have the sound of death that screams, ah! That's the...
But creepy part about it though is I watched the movie, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you what happened next. So I'm sleeping and I get woken up probably about like 5 something in the morning
Okay.
to my phone that's underneath my pillow with the microphone going off. Like if it was trying to pick something up talking.
Okay.
And it woke me up out of my sleep because it wouldn't stop beeping. And when I grabbed my phone, I looked at it and I was like, well, nothing's even happening right now on it. And I put it back under my pillow and it started up again. And I literally had to take it off the charger and I said, well, maybe it's something with my battery. I don't know. But I took it off the charger and it stopped. But weird.
No. That's not weird. There's an easy explanation for that. You have an Android phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's self-explanatory.
You have an Android phone.
But it was very
You have an Android
very
phone too?
strange.
Yeah, so
It's never
You have
done
Android
that.
phones.
It's never done that.
You know what I
so-
like about this is I feel like what we're doing, like in this small closed room, telling scary stories. Like I feel like being like I'm a little kid again.
Putting
Because
the Bible in the room or what?
me and my nieces used to like go in the closet and start telling scary stories.
Yeah.
And as soon as they'd start, I'd get that feeling in my stomach where I was like, oh shit. I'm scared, I don't want to move.
that feeling though is addictive.
Hey,
though.
but
That's why
straight up, like I mess with that kind of stuff a little bit. So it's like it was very strange. It was very strange and almost surreal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I've never heard the phone make that noise before. Even it was just like repeated. Like I don't know, strange.
So one experience that I had in the past, man, this is legit, dude, and I didn't like. I didn't want to like proceed with this, but anyways, back in the day when I used to work for a company called Texas Scenic, there was actually a coworker named Ernest, and
shout out to Ernest.
Yeah, shout out to Ernest, man.
Ernest,
This dude, like, we're having a conversation out of nowhere. He just like brings to my attention, I have the first original Ouija board that was ever created that my great grandmother inherited to me when she passed. And then I was like, nah, Ernest, you're messing with me. And sure enough, the next day, he goes, hey, Flash, hey, follow me during lunch. I follow him to the vehicle, pops open his trunk, and it was a blue box, white font, Ouija board, the first original version of it. So in my mind, I'm like, is this for reals? Like I was kind of shocked. I was kind of scared about it, and I was like, hey, Ernest, can you be able to lend it to me, man? Because I was kind of curious about it. And so with that being said, man, he was like, yeah, Flash, you can go ahead and take it home, but you need to bring it back. And I when I had it at the house, like I was just staring at it. I was like, man, should I just mess with this? Like, me and the lady, should we just try to like maybe see if this is real?
Conjure up some sex.
But I just had this twisted feeling in my stomach, and I was just like, nah, I don't want to chance it. I don't want to open up the doors to some type of demons in the house. So I just gave it back to the friend, man. I didn't mess with it. I could have. I had the opportunity,
that's
but I didn't
always
do it.
be on the safe side. It's always be on the safe side with that, you know.
So that was this night that when we were younger. How old were we?
We must have been maybe like
15, 16. No,
yeah, probably about like 15, 16.
So Nick stayed at the night at my house one night, and we watched Silent Hill, the first one.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's fucking great.
It really is.
Yeah.
It fucking really is.
We watched it late, and then he was asleep on the floor. I fucking fell asleep like a rock. I don't know how that movie scared the shit out of me.
Because horror movies put your ass to
Yeah.
sleep. That's what it is. It's like, oh man,
Anyway.
death, crazy nurses.
I'm so tired, so pumped.
Your pyramid head.
I don't know how much longer it was that I was asleep. But Nick, I hear him like shuffling around. And I'm like, Nick, what are you doing? He's like, Matt, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Do you hear that? And I'm like, hear what? And I got quiet, and the window was open, right above us, and all you could hear was.
Oh no, dude!
And so it was a really bad thunderstorm that was happening while we were watching the movie, and it was just so eerie. And it's always happening to me when I watch.
I live by Kelly and Lackland.
So it was probably the
Air Force
okay.
Base.
But it scared the shit out of me.
Because and he wouldn't wake up out of the sleep he was in. So I was hearing it for like a good 15 minutes by myself in the dark on his floor.
Eyes wide open.
Yeah, it's like I come out of my sleep, and I'm always the one. I'm very sensitive when it comes to sounds when I'm sleeping. Obviously, so I'm telling the story.
Yeah.
But so I just hear it, and I just hear the.
You're like looking around just to make sure nothing's hazy.
Yeah, no. And so I woke up. I fully got up to stand up to make sure that I was hearing it right. And so
like
no
just
fuck.
shot right up.
Yes. So like I'm like no, like I'm fucking
And
hearing
Nick's like a tree. He's like 10 foot tall.
So
Pretty fucking much.
I'm hearing it. I get his ass up finally, and same thing. He's hearing it too. We had never, as long as we lived around that base, have never heard that sound before.
Yeah.
But it was terrifying. Terrifying.
So, I love Silent Hill, by the way. So, I'm a little anticlimactic when it comes to this, and here's the reason why. So, since I was like pretty much raised on horror movies, I purposely don't do things because my initial reaction it goes, "That's how you die in a horror movie." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the whole like the black guy dies first, the funny guy dies first. I'm like, I'm a funny black dude. Like I'm the first person to die. Like I'm not doing that. Like so like. The hearing like Rich, you going like, oh yeah, like I borrowed a Ouija board from the. I don't mess with that. I don't mess with that. Like if somebody was just like, hey man, I got this original Ouija board. I won't talk to them. I will immediately dismiss that conversation and walk away.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, now I'm skeptical, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
Right. I'm skeptical to the point to where I think there's a lot that can be explained, but I'm also not dumb to the point to where like, well here let's just do this. Like that BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
BuzzFeed they have the kind of like an unsolved mysteries thing where they go and they look at hauntings and they test it. And the one guy, which is a popular GIF meme, and he's just like, "What's going on, demons? It's your boy."
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? Like that's not me.
Yeah.
No. I don't go to haunted houses. And here's my story for
I
that.
love haunted houses.
Here's my story for that. Me and my dad, my stepmother, and my two sisters, we went to Orlando to go to Disney, And my dad and my stepmom went there a few years before that, and they went to this place called Skull Kingdom, and it's in Orlando. And we went to he wanted to go take me to it, so we went in the middle of the day, right, just to see what it looks like. Yeah. Super unassuming. It's a 3-story building that they shaped into an actual castle, and there's a huge skull in the front of it, and I mean it's fucking huge. And it says Skull Kingdom, and he goes, "Oh, we're gonna go there tonight." And I was like, "Oh, okay, like cool." What was I fucking wrong, dude? Like when we showed up, everything was lit. There was pyro going off. Oh, there were people like dancing, like scary. It looked like Thriller, like outside of this place. And I'm like super nervous. And these dudes are interactive. Like a lady was coming to her car, and a guy comes out from under her car.
Oh shit!
Like it was like that.
So Napalm from the Twitch side said, "The movie is not scary, but only Jaws' soundtrack is scary and classic. I was afraid to take a shower after listening to the music."
and that actually leads into my next point after that. But just to finish off my story, we go there, we go through it, and there's a point to where it's like a point of no return.
Yeah.
And my dad pushes me to go forward. So we go forward and we go into this room that's lit with a strobe light, and it's obviously filled with punching bags, and you have to push your way through. Oh, yeah. But there's someone in there who can see you, but you can't see them, and they're running up next to you and they're whispering in your ear.
Oh, wow.
He comes up and he goes, and I'm like, oh no. Like I'm freaking out. My dad's laughing, and I keep moving fast.
Yeah.
And he does it again, and he caught me on a good day, and I popped him in the face. Like I straight elbowed him. And let's paint the picture here. Those of you who can see me on Twitch, I'm not a small guy. Those of you who've seen us on our videos obviously know, but those of you who are listening to this audio, I'm a big dude. I'm 6 foot. I'm well over 400 pounds, and at that time, I was playing rugby. I was 300 pounds stacked muscle. So I clocked this person. Thank God it was a dude, because if it was a female, I would have died. I would have been like, oh no, that's I'm going to jail. And all I can see is him running out of the hall and running away. So we walk out of that room, and someone goes, "Sir, you and your son need to come with us." And they take us behind the scenes and everything so we can get out to the guest room or to the gift shop. And this dude is bleeding profusely from his nose. Long story short, I'm not allowed at Skull Kingdom in Orlando anymore. And that was in like 2007. I was like, they still have my... I called one time and they're like, "Do you have a list of people who are not allowed?" And they go, "Yeah." And then I go, "Is Ian Grant on that list?" And they go, "Yep, he is."
Oh my god.
We just got somebody new coming into the stream. Great story, Ian. I don't know. I love haunted houses. Let's give a shout out though to C-Do-U-B.
C-Dub Deuce. C-Dub
Deuce.
Third Coast Nick, make the attempt, buddy.
What's going on?
He tried.
Thank you for coming with us and jamming out for us a little bit.
That was good.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to C-Dub, Napalm.
We're getting some pints in here.
Cheers for fears.
Cheers for fears.
Going back to the Jaws soundtrack and just soundtrack music in general, we can all say that the king of horror, when it comes to soundtracks, there's John Carpenter.
Oh, I don't know. It's very true. But have you ever seen the movie called It Follows?
Yes.
The composer that did that movie?
Oh, I love that movie.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Holy shit.
The only reason why I say John Carpenter is because, like, he has all of these iconic horror movies that have been remade and remade and remade, and they still use his original scoring.
Yeah, that is just simple.
Yeah, it's simple.
I mean, Halloween, you look at Halloween and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, those are classic.
And that helps too in a scene.
Yeah.
You know, someone's walking through the aisle or walking through a hall. It's dark, and you hear that.
There's actually a real study that I just read about that, where they say, reality is dictated by music sometimes.
Yeah.
You think about when you wake up and you grab your favorite track and you're just like, fuck yeah, I'm getting it today. Like, I'm pumped. This is it. It's my day.
Mine is this one. Yo, DJ, pump this party. Wow, it's your time. You know you're gonna be mine. I walk into Citibank like this.
Is that why you come up with such a straight face so you don't want nobody to know the party that's actually happening inside of you, dude?
Pretty much, dude. It's like a Jimmy Neutron brain blast.
I thought I saw you the other day just kind of like giving one of these at your desk. I was itching.
Here, you okay?
He's just doing that. I just got this track in my head, man.
I'm just so excited to collect these funds.
But yeah, no, music is definitely something that impacts the horror scene and movies in general and the scenes. You know, I love it.
So,
gotta have good music.
With that, I've also gotten to I'm on TikTok a lot, and on TikTok there's a guy, I can't remember his name, but he's a noted sound effects artist.
Okay.
And so a lot of his videos, of course, are him doing the sound effects, like the breaking of the bones. It's him it's him splitting celery and like the shuffling.
Isn't it crazy
and
how
crazy.
the type of sound effects that they do?
You should watch that.
It's just like a celery stick breaking.
Yeah.
But they implemented a movie to like bones breaking.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Movie magic, man.
What a,
Yeah, yeah.
fucking job just to figure out what sounds like what.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
to fucking
he's-
record it.
He's there doing things like putting dry pasta in his mouth and chomping hard, and that's supposed to be a cracked bone. And he's squishing tomatoes, and that's supposed to sound like guts spilling on the floor.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
My trick used to be in school. You grab somebody's test paper and they'd be
Yeah,
like, "Man, I got 100." They'd be like, "Oh yeah, let me see that."
oh, dude, people would get me with that a lot. Now, so this is gonna be a lot of fun for the people who are on Twitch. I'm a wrestling fan, and there's a lot of things
Are
that
you gonna DDP me right now?
no, but I'm gonna break Matt's
Are you gonna
finger.
Stone Cold Stunner me right now?
So there's a trick that they do.
Are you gonna torture rack him right now?
There's a trick that they do that simulates a broken finger in the middle of the ring. So people on
you break
Twitch,
your finger.
so they'll take their hand and they'll spread it out like this, right? And they'll go shh, shh, and the crowd knows what's going on, and they take it and they go, and the
I
person,
believe it. Yo, dude, I believe it. Your finger's up. It's broken.
but what makes it good is the person reacts, right? So like they do it, and the person is just like, like they're freaking out. And it took me a good year to figure out how to do it. And when I did, that was it. I was doing that shit to everybody.
Oh my god.
You know?
And
Good
for that,
point.
even if it's a trick for that person, it could be just like shock at that point. It's
Yeah.
like, it is broken.
Where they're like, oh my god.
Napalm sends us a response right now.
Napalm, what's up?
It says, he said, yes, a soundtrack makes a total difference. Music connects us through the subconscious. You feel the total difference. With that, it is applied to some horror movies. Imagine Friday the 13th, Halloween, The Exorcist, and some of the other horror movies playing with Lady Gaga. Music makes a total
I'd watch
difference.
I'll
Not
watch
gonna lie. I mean, can we make that happen, Napalm?
All right, I'd
if we
watch
made
it.
it happen, would you watch it?
I'd watch it, but I get it. Like you can't. And here's another thing too that actually goes against what you're saying, but I 100% agree with you, Napalm, on that. There have been movies that have a certain air about it. It's supposed to be horror, it's supposed to be drama, and they purposely take music that don't match the scene to convey the actual drama or the drastic nature of what's going on.
Yeah.
It makes it uglier.
Yeah.
It does.
It's just like, I have it in my head. Okay, so you guys on Twitch, look this up. It's called a movie called Behind the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon. And there's a scene in there, it's a slaughter scene, but the song is that one, Aquarius. You know what I mean? Or you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm probably saying it wrong where, it's so happy and it's melodic, but you have this just gory scene and you're sitting there going, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
You know, that's what I loved about Strangers.
Yes!
The Strangers.
Ah, yeah, that's
that
a good
whole
movie.
fucking soundtrack was
What do you
so
think of that one,
fucking good.
Napalm Strangers? You like it? What did C-Dub say?
Let us all chug a beer to reflect.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
All right.
It's been
C-Dub.
requested.
Cheers.
It's been
Hey,
requested.
wait. Let me check the cans. It's empty. What the? Let me see yours. It's empty. Okay, his is midway.
I think this has something to do with him putting it because it has
You know what?
metal.
You know what? I'll be the one to chug the full can.
I got it right there.
Do you have a separate account? Like, is that you?
That's what I
That's like when we don't hear Rich talk, he's on his phone like,
How can I get them to chug beer?
Yo, C-Dub to C-Dub. All right,
C-Dub.
he's gonna finish his
Napalm also.
his like
Shout
3
out.
drops. I'm just kidding.
Hey, why are you putting your friends on blast like that?
I'm
It's easy.
trying. He has a full can, folks. Everyone has full cans.
I can't chug beer.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, hell yeah.
You love Stone Cold.
Where's that box?
Did you see Hot Ones?
Huh? Yes.
Did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, his Hot Ones?
Yeah.
I was gonna see it last night. Ian, he's getting you on the daps, Ian.
Oh, I'm sorry, because I was hearing this. I was looking at the Twitch. I'm trying to be a Twitcher right now.
Oh, I'm still drinking.
So the strangers. So you're speaking about the strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Strangers, that soundtrack was like. But there was something eerie about the movie, like the music from the 60s and 70s. Like it had that kind of like eerie twinge to it.
Yeah.
So that's what
funny
made it
we talked about this today.
even scarier.
What do you like?
That's perfect.
I was like, it's funny we're talking about that.
Where was this?
But yes, yeah.
Screams for every
Box.
For every
Screams in every box.
But yeah, remind me again, because I don't remember that one exactly. Is that the one where they're wearing the
Hear
mask?
me talk this? No. Yeah, it's what's her name? What's Liz?
So explain the premise, because we're not going to remember character names.
Isn't it the one where they're at home? And like she's at home?
Yeah, they're out like in the middle in the country.
They're like
And,
vacationing or some shit.
No, they were at a wedding for a friend or something.
There we go.
But it's just them two for this whole big house that I think it was a friend's of a friend.
Mm-hmm.
But this, I guess it's like a group of people. It's like 3 or 4 of them that come out and they start just like stalking the house and knocking on windows and fucking scratching the glass.
Oh shit!
They wreck the truck so they can't go anywhere. They cut all the lines and everything.
I remember now.
But they have this old school record player, and they're listening to like romantic music before they start getting haunted or stalked, and it just keeps playing throughout the fucking movie.
That's right. That's right.
See,
They put it
that's-
on loop.
See, that's crazy. You know,
And that
like,
goes back
that-
to the music being the shaping of everything. You know.
That made the movie like. I mean, even if the movie was quiet, it still would have been good. But the music just like.
Yeah.
threw it over to
Okay,
another level.
so speaking of scary stuff, right? And I know this is just something I wanted to bring to y'all's attention. How do y'all feel upon the movie It and It Chapter 2 that's coming out in September?
I thought you were gonna talk about that tail that you've been growing.
Oh, how'd you know?
You got real nervous there,
Oh my
didn't you?
God!
He's like, damn it.
How'd you know?
Damn it, Bobby.
C-Dub Deuce said, just watch Stone Cold on
Hot ones. Hot
Wings.
wings.
Still gotta watch it. C-Dub, we'll let you know when we do. We'll talk about it again on the stream.
Look on YouTube, water phone, 3 in the morning, and then go to the kitchen to drink water.
You're setting me up for failure. I don't like that. I don't like to be set up like that, Napalm. I thought we had love in this. That's disrespectful.
What does it say on top of the door?
Right?
ELE.
We gotta get a thing there that says love. So, if I can just top on that, what you were saying, Rich.
Yeah.
So again, I watched the original one with wow, take my horror movie card right now. I can't even remember his name.
Get out of the room.
Yeah, I might even get out of your own house. Help me out. From Rocky Horror Picture Clue.
Oh, you're talking about
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, yeah.
So I watched the original one with Tim Curry. I think everybody who went to go see it has watched it as well.
Yeah.
Of course, that was a wonderful mini-series.
Yeah,
Tim Curry's portrayal as the clown from the books was extremely amazing. Do you know why cornflakes were invented? To prevent masturbatorial tendencies.
Yes.
That's why they were invented.
What?
Yeah.
This,
I read.
This topic today.
By the way, C-Dubs from San Antonio too.
Hey!
Hey.
Because it's
Oh,
you.
2-1-0.
So
No, I haven't met him in person.
I think-
Oh, really?
No, you're saying it's because it's you.
Well,
One of these
maybe
days-
one day you come be our new friend on the show and we come have
I
a
don't-
session with us.
Exactly.
I don't need to Google it, C-Dub. I already know. I said it. So anyway, going back to it, I think Bill Skarsgård's portrayal as the clown was perfect.
Twisted.
It was twisted, and
Yeah.
it works for an upgrade.
Yes.
What people who don't like it don't realize is that yes, it's a remake, but it's also upgraded for the times.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you got somebody who wasn't alive in that era and showed it to them,
It's hard to relate.
It's hard to relate, and it's not scary.
Yeah.
But if you show them the new one, they freak out.
I'm so fucking excited for
part two. The cast that they got.
It looks way better, dude.
It
looks way better. Yeah.
For Bill Hader.
It seems like they really opened up with the creativity with the monster itself, with Pennywise, and so I'm excited.
Not only that, but they opened up their wallets because again, the cast that they got for it.
I mean, but even in the first one, like, I would equivalent the most shocking thing I remember seeing in the original that I thought, like, special effects, everything. The part where he gets sucked in the tube, the gangster, where he gets sucked in and turned in half.
Yeah,
and it sucks him in and it's the light.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it like that. It was so ugly, but it was pushing the boundaries of the kid who was the movie magic at that time. You know, but now you see what they're gonna do with the fucking scenes now. I don't know.
Well, did you see the trailer? I'm sorry, man. Go ahead. Okay, so there was a trailer of it, and this is before like the recent trailer that they just launched like not too long ago.
Was it a fan one?
No, it was an actual legit one for the upcoming. And you know the part where that one chick goes into that house and she thinks it's an actual house.
Are you talking about the part where the old lady just
exactly.
Yeah.
That old lady looks crazy.
She's just running around naked.
Yeah.
She got naked real quick.
She did.
You got YouTube connected right now? I'm gonna have to watch it.
But no, like that. I think the part two is going to capitalize on what part one already did, and it's just going to complement the older one and open that up to new viewers, new horror fans, because it's an open conversation to go, oh, you know, this is a remake, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to go, what? And then you have an opportunity, an open avenue to show them this movie.
What I was going to say was what I loved on the first one was that opening scene with just the little boy getting his fucking arm chewed off.
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
What I love though is that they took it there immediately.
Yeah.
And had him fucking army crawling on a nub.
Yeah, there was no bullshit in that movie.
Yeah.
Like it started.
Like and you know, I think the thing is when that movie first came out is like there was almost like this denial of it. That is like, it wasn't terrifying, but when I watched it,
I saw it 4 times in the theaters.
I saw it pretty shocking. And I said, "Holy shit!" Like he said, the scene where we're on the fucking nub. It's like, damn.
I think not only the direct aspect of that scene, but the surrounding nature of it too. The lady who sees the kid, right?
Yeah.
And it's just really nothing about it, and then the kid's disappeared.
Yeah.
And she's just like,
okay.
Okay. It's not like, and it doesn't hit that she sat there and watched it. But it's more so of like, you know something, but you're too scared to say it.
Yeah. And that was the first nod to it.
Yep.
Looking back and that you're saying it now, that was the first nod.
That was the first
that people were just like, just shut the fuck up.
Give him a chance. Yeah.
Right? Like,
go away if you just be quiet.
Maybe he'll pop up. Like maybe he'll pop up.
Now I'm gonna be fucking scared the rest of the day, dude.
You're gonna have the fucking October creeps already.
I know.
I love it, man. We're glad to actually be able to talk about this, you know, with every one of y'all right now.
It gets us away from the heat. That's why.
I'm
like, come on, October.
Fucking hot right
No,
now.
man, the sun outside. It just go away, sun.
Deuce
go
Dub,
away.
you probably Dub Deuce. You know about that.
Why being such a dick?
So.
What do you say?
So to kind of round it off, you guys, let's eat everyone their favorite. Let's do 2. Let's the first round. Favorite horror movie monster and why?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'll go last.
Alright, I'll go first. Mine has to probably be, believe it or not, and I'm just basing this off what terrified me the most when I remember seeing it, Wishmaster.
Oh, the genie! That's such a good underrated movie.
So exactly, and he's not one of your big main basic go-to like, oh man, that was like, you know, Pinhead or some shit, you know. But Wishmaster, holy shit! I saw this fucking movie in the theaters in a drive-in.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was terrifying. It was a terrifying experience watching this movie.
The driving movies is such like a beautiful experience.
Exactly, and so you know, as a kid, when you're 8 years old and you went to go see the Power Rangers movie, and then hey, we're gonna just stick around for this next movie. Wishmaster, it's a horror movie. Son, you want to check it out? It's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm about to get into, but dude, terrifying. I think the scenes in that movie from the first one, the second one was alright, but top-notch scares. Top-notch scares. Almost very reminiscent of I I'm drawing a sort of blank right now. But Freddy Krueger, you know, like with the whole dream
I love
situations.
Freddy Krueger, man.
Yeah. Very Dream Warrior-like, I think. You know, it was very Dream Warrior-like.
Can we take a quick pause real quick? I want to give a shout out to Bad Monk. Bad Monk, what is up, broski? Cool to have you here, dude. Welcome officially to the channel. We got your boy Big over here. We got Mr. Sancho, aka Matt, Third Coast Nick, and I'm known as It's Flash. But it's an honor to have your company, broski.
And
just want to give you a shout out, buddy.
We're talking about spooky stuff, man. You want to talk about anything? Have us talk about anything? Put it in the chat.
And Bad Monk, actually, he did say something. He said he's a big fan of the Xenomorph face huggers. That's a scary thing too.
What is that? Do tell.
You've never seen the movie Aliens?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. The face huggers. Yeah.
Like, that right there.
That
should be scary to any male.
Yes.
Because the idea of like forced impregnation of something.
Yeah. Of your face.
Of your face.
Did you watch the new Alien? The last one that came out? Oh,
I have not.
That little alien that came out of that dude's back?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know what movie blew my mind like that was Prometheus. I did not know it was a prequel to everything that was happening with that.
Prometheus was less hard, more intellectual for those.
Very much so, yeah. And I agree. And they explained a lot of how those face huggers came to be and all that shit. You know
that's what the new Alien was too.
They explained it.
Yeah, it's the explanation of the virus. That how it came to be, and then
what did Napalm say here?
Napalm, he's got a pinhead tattoo.
What? You got a pinhead tattoo?
That says a lot about you as a person.
Go to our Facebook and post it on our Facebook.
He will.
Do it.
That says a lot about you as a person, which also makes me a little bit nervous to like if I ever meet you. Like you're a pain pleasure guy. Like, all right, I see you.
Pain for pleasure.
Pain for pleasure. We can provide you immense pleasures. And
No joke though, but like on a side note, that's probably one of the most terrifying costumes I've ever seen out in public are the pinhead people. Because when you see a pinhead on Halloween, they are legit with the pins and everything all over their face.
It's creative to the max on that.
He said he's gonna post it on Twitter.
Oh, hey! I'll show you. Napalm, tag me on that post, and I'll go to show them, broski.
So,
tag me on it.
Rich,
so what's yours?
So, okay, the question once more, Napalm. The question once more.
Favorite horror movie monster and why?
Okay, so my favorite horror film / monster would be Freddy Krueger, and I really wish that they didn't have to end it. I want more Freddy Krueger, folks. I enjoy Michael Myers. I enjoy Jason, and yes, I do want to say this that they're still going to continue on with the saga of Michael Myers, which is great. So if you saw that recent film and you saw that house burned down and he was in there, he ain't dead, folks. It's still going on. I think they're going to release the next movie in like 2020, maybe 2021. I mean, I've been reading articles about it. He's not over it. It's not over yet, but. With all that being said, with Freddy Krueger, like I've always enjoyed watching that content. It's pretty cool to be able to have someone just go to sleep, go to the dream realm, and then some fucked up shit happens, right?
The premise of that,
and it just watching it though, just like just when I was a kid, it was like I didn't want to go to sleep. I didn't want to dream of Freddy Krueger.
And that's what I was gonna say too. The premise of that is very daunting because you think your most relaxed state is when you're sleeping, and if you can't even do that, like what are you? You're fucked.
Yeah, you really are.
You know what I mean?
You really are.
What are you supposed to do? Do the machinist for your rest of your life and just stay up? Just stay up all the time?
You know what I would really enjoy though is and I know it's totally off topic, but you know how they had Freddy versus Jason? Why can't they have a horror movie versus another horror movie? Why can't they do that again?
It's because of the rights and money. That's the only reason why.
What do you say? Pennywise. His
Bad Mug Pennywise.
We were just talking about that earlier.
We were definitely talking about
Let's make ours short so we can get to the next round.
All right, cool. So my favorite horror movie monster is Jason Voorhees. It has to be. And the reason why is very simple. The sheer undaunting raw power of Jason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The willingness the willingness just to kill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's really tight between Michael Myers and Jason for me. And the reason why is because they have the same continuity when it comes to their passion of destruction.
Yeah.
But for me, Jason, man, I don't know. I think the idea of the wholesome idea of terrorizing young, prepubescent, post-pubescent, sexually active teenagers is hilarious to me.
I just think what's even more terrifying is just somebody that's like that mentally unstable and that close to their mother.
But no, it's Jason.
It's a little terrifying because you know those people exist in life, and it's kind of like you don't want to feel bad for those people, but some of those people would turn around and kill you.
Well, that leads on to mine, because mine would have to. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna change my monster because I just saw it on my phone.
All right.
The old lady from Drag Me to Hell.
Oh shit!
Dude.
That's a left fielder, but a good one, dude.
That's one of my
modern.
favorite horror movies, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that I always
Drag Me
remember
to
that
Hell
old
is good.
lady just creeping the fuck out of me.
So she would be your favorite monster, and that would be your favorite horror movie?
I'd say yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Just because I enjoy that cheesy horror.
Like gimmicky horror.
Yeah, but then I also like the indie kind of like
Yeah,
we
it
talked about
was
It
different.
Follows.
Definitely. So.
Yeah.
It Follows and that kind of stuff.
So, and then I'm just gonna double up on you, and we'll do it to each everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
What was the one horror movie that scared you the most?
That's a good question. Yeah.
I think when and it was a recent movie too, because I think that's what scared me the most was The Conjuring.
Yeah.
The Conjuring. No, actually, I take that back. Sinister.
Sinister?
Oh,
Sinister.
That's a good one.
Fuck.
Sinister is so good. I just recently, I rewatched Sinister 1 and 2 recently,
Yeah.
so it's fresh in my mind.
Dude,
Yeah, she's really good too. I think.
That's the most scared I've been like.
Only because it's like
long
that
time.
angry stepdad too in it and shit,
Yeah.
where he's fucking like psycho. It's
Amityville Horror is what you're referring to.
Yeah, that's.
no, I'm not thinking. Isn't it Sinister?
Sinister-
No, it's the one with the boogie monster. The
Boogie Monster. No, it was their actual
to
dad.
the country home or
Bagul.
something like that. No.
It was their actual dad. There wasn't a stepdad in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the actual dad. He's the actual
What's
dad.
his
He's
name?
all, but he like beats him on them and stuff. He's all angry with them.
No, he's not. That's Amityville Horror.
Ethan Hawke is the dad.
Yeah, no, he.
Alright.
There goes this, like, oh man, I didn't drink my
Sinister focuses on the kids. The kids are the
This
antagonists.
always fucking happens to me when I start talking about Sinister, Conjuring, and all that. I'm like,
It's just a lot of
know
horror
what
films
it
have
is?
somewhat
How
of
real
similarity
fucking
to it in
scene.
certain
Yeah.
ways.
Like the little kid who ran over, like where he runs over the family with the fucking
Lawnmower?
oh yeah, that's
The one
fucked.
where he electrocutes his
Oh,
family.
because that's the one with the film, right?
kitchen.
Yeah.
The one with the film.
There you go.
Okay, yeah.
That the sounds.
It
of
was
that,
like this, but then you went.
Yeah.
I brought it back.
the sounds of that movie were fucking ugly.
That is a great movie though.
Nate?
It's probably a terrifying movie.
Favorite horror movie scared you the most?
There goes Nate.
Poltergeist. Only because
Favorite or scared you the most?
most scared the most because the scene when they start having it where the corpses are falling out of the wall.
Oh shit!
Oh my god. For the longest time, I couldn't walk my fucking house at night just because I fucking would think that was gonna happen. Like straight up,
That's
like.
so ugly.
And then it's so ugly because then the fact too when she falls into the pool.
Yeah.
And she's being pulled under by everything. Like,
Yo.
man, pool scared me for the longest time after that for a while.
He never wanted to go swimming.
It makes sense.
He always
Makes sense. It all adds up.
He didn't want to take baths.
So, what's your favorite horror movie?
So I think that would probably have to be one of my favorites, but favorite. I don't know. It's really hard. It's really hard. I would just have to say Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
I liked it.
Rich, yell at us.
Wizard of Oz. Nah, man, but seriously though, I know it's just like conspiracy. That's not my favorite horror film and stuff like that. But have you ever saw the conspiracy theory on? I mean, I saw it on YouTube, or there's one of like the actors that wanted or actresses that wanted to partake. I don't know if it's actress as Dorothy, but it didn't get the role. So on the part when they're like walking on the yellow brick road, and if you look in the background on the far left side in the trees, you see something like
Hanging.
kind of like hanging. Apparently, like I read the conspiracy, and they're saying that someone actually hung himself because they didn't get the rope, and that shit creeps me out.
So your
But-
favorite, the most scariest horror movie for you is The Wizard of Oz.
No, it's the Wizard of Oz.
That is
It's not the
fucking
Wizard
scary.
of Oz.
Lions,
No, but
lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my.
but out of truthfulness and honesty, the The scariest movie that ever creeped me out was a movie called As Above. I think it's called As Above.
So Below.
That one tripped me out the most, and the reason why is because just imagine if you go to a spot and then you're all like, hey, it's a forbidden spot to be able to go to, but you do it anyways, and you just keep on going lower and lower and lower, and it sends you to hell. And what freaks me out the most is towards the end when they're escaping and they open up that freaking like sewer and they're like upside down and they crawl to the other side and it goes back to like regular mode. Yeah. It's like, what if something like that actually does exist?
Remember Flash?
It's realistic.
Exactly.
It is real. And the thing, it is real. It is real. Because I've talked to Flash about this, right? So, have you guys ever heard of Hollow Earth theory?
No.
Yes.
So, Hollow Earth theory was a theory that was proposed by the same guy that discovered Halley's Comet, okay? So, legitimate guy, they believed in one sense of the field of his discoveries, but didn't believe him on this.
Yeah.
But his thing is that in the Earth, there's 7 layers or so of actual realms of other worlds that exist. How you can get to these different worlds are through caves, bottoms of the lakes, and like caves that live at the oceans and the bottoms of it. And from the north and the south poles. So the main 2 entrances.
So like the open caverns.
Yes.
And then the ocean isn't fully discovered.
But think about it. Think about it like this: if you do research on it and you look into caves and things, they usually will call the mouth of the cave a portal.
Yeah.
They call them portals. So what the Indios and Indians back in the days used to believe is that you could get to these worlds by going through these caves and going far enough down into them where you'd come into these situations where you pop up on another side.
Man, it's just that theory though. It's just like it's mind bending.
It is very out there, but it's a great movie. I love As Above, So Below.
That's definitely the movie that actually scared me.
And I mean, that is actually a Chinese saying, because that's where they tie in the actual realms underneath. Is that they're saying as above, so below. Like they knew. And if you look into it even further, it's definitely another topic we're gonna have to cover.
Yeah.
But subterranean extraterrestrials, not just UFOs. The ones that come from spacecrafts that come from underwater. So like the Kappa, like we were talking about earlier. it's a water demon.
Wait, Kappa is a water demon?
Yes.
Well, I'm so used to Kappa. If you type Kappa on Twitch, you see a great face that's sarcastic.
Well, so like Kappa is like an actual like turtle-looking kind of duck-looking thing.
Okay.
And they say like these Chinese cultures have documented seeing spaceships coming out of the water, unexplained things. But it's definitely a topic for another time. But great movie.
I'm definitely intrigued in that topic. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
So, my favorite horror movie is the one that I referenced earlier, was Behind the Mask: Rise of Leslie Vernon. And the reason why is because it takes a different aspect of horror. In this movie, they don't see these horror movie icons as supernatural beings. They see them as dudes who have 9-to-5s. Jason, Michael Myers, what they're doing is a job. It's their fucking job. And there's people who are retired from it. There's one scene in
what's
here.
This?
Behind the Mask: Rise of Leslie Vernon. I'm gonna explain 2 scenes out of it. The first one, the guy who's playing Leslie Vernon, he goes to go see his mentor, and he goes to his wife and he goes, "Hey, have you seen Josh?" And he goes, "Oh, I think he's out in the turbine." And she goes, "Oh, okay, well, how long has he been there?" And she goes, "What day is it?" He goes, "Thursday." She goes, "I think he's been there since Tuesday." And he's like, "It's been a few days." So this guy is in this underground barrel, and he's controlling his heartbeat to seem like he's dead.
Wow.
Because that's what he used to do when his job was to kill people.
Yeah.
Not like an assassin, when he was a supernatural serial killer murderer. And he's like, "I just do it to keep the old ticker right." Another scene is because the premise of the movie is that these college filmmakers are coming to this guy because he emailed them, and this is their final project.
Yeah.
The mind behind a serial killer. Not only a serial killer, but a supernatural serial killer, right?
Yeah.
And he's sitting there and he's going to punching bag. He's doing this cardio, and he says to the girl, he goes, "You will not believe how much cardio I have to do to keep up with these people." And she goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I have to make it seem like I'm walking when everyone else is running their asses off."
I've never heard about this movie.
And did you just look it up?
Yeah.
She goes, "Well, I don't know what you mean." He goes, "Go ahead, start running." And she's like, "Well, I used to be in cross country." And he goes, "Go ahead." So she starts running, and 3 steps after she starts running, he starts booking it, and he counts her steps.
But he's walking.
He's running, and he's running behind her, and he counts her steps, and he stops just short before she turns around, and he starts walking, and she sees him how close he is, and she freaks out, and she keeps running, and he does it again, and then she falls, and he goes up to her, and he walks up to her, and he goes, "You see, now you're dead." And, yeah.
Wow.
And so that's my favorite horror movie.
Yeah.
Like he made her feel that terror.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and that's crazy too, because it's like there's another thing I came across. If you guys have never heard of it, it's called adrenochrome harvesting.
I've heard of adrenochrome.
So it's you've seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
right? You've seen Fear and Loathing. Have you all seen it?
Mm-hmm.
So
That movie scared me too.
yeah, that's a trip.
Yo, we talked about this. Save that. Touch it, but
Okay.
save it.
I'm
Text me
gonna,
that,
I'm
I'll
gonna
recap
touch this.
into it.
I'm gonna touch it, but we'll save a full conversation on this because we will pull up videos, future content to come. But
Yeah.
it's crazy because a lot of the serial killers, they will do that. Like they get terror out of people, but what happens is that pure adrenaline pumps through them, and it's like it can only maybe be something tied to the fact of the reaction that it puts in people that
Yeah.
maybe they get off to that.
Yeah.
Because it has this increased like high for the people that are experiencing it
Yeah.
when the adrenaline's pumping through your body, like from terror.
So it's getting
You know?
the very peak of the human,
It's like a
Existence,
high.
experience,
Yeah. That's
experience, like the most peak of experience for somebody, dude. Like, and they're putting them on that level. Like that's intense, man. That's
It's very intense.
But adrenochrome is. Oh wow.
I'm sorry. So Napalm, we do see that you put it up on Twitter. He wanted to let you know.
Oh, he did.
And then shout out to Code Daj. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but the movie that I was talking about, it's called Behind the Mask: Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Real quick. I'll be right back.
Behind the Mask: Rise of Leslie Vernon. That's what it is. You can go ahead and IMDb that or Google it. So I guess just to round it off real quick, because we have been going at it for a minute. The horror movie that scared me the most is Night of the Demons.
Night of the Demons.
Yeah, it's classic horror, haunted house, demon ridden. These kids on Halloween decide they want to stay there for the night, and each single one of them get possessed.
Oh shit! Like and like turns, or they had like
No, like possession, death, like
damn.
yeah. And there's this one scene of this one girl who's like the gothic girl and whatever, and it's an old like 80s horror movie. She's dancing to this rock music, and there's this strobe light going, and you can see the possession turn her while she's dancing. It's so scary. That kept me up.
You got to like text me that so I could watch that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
definitely.
I can
All
know.
these movies
I
are
can
going
know.
onto our group chat. 'Cause
Definitely.
There's stuff to watch.
So good review.
So, do we want to wait for Third Coast? Or?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, for the meantime, what we could be able to talk about what is an actual scary experience that happened in reality, something that happened in real life, something that you went through personally that was scary that you would like to bring to our audience attention.
Personally, that was scary.
It could be anything. It could be you saw a ghost or something else. What would that be?
See, here's the funny thing. I'm so cautious because of the amount of horror that I ingest through entertainment that I don't put myself in those situations to where it would happen. And that's kind of anticlimactic, but it is. Like, I watch...
And that's the end of the podcast.
Yeah, it's kind of anticlimactic. Done.
So...
But yeah, I don't really have one, man.
I'll give an example. We got Third Coast Nick walking into the building. So Third Coast,
What's up?
this is the question I was asking, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pursue with an example afterwards. So
Ask it.
the question is, what is the most scariest thing that you experienced in person, reality-wise, whether you saw a ghost or something else? What is that? Now, for example, I'm going to go and share previous something that I went through as a kid. And I don't want you to think that I sound crazy or anything like that. It's nothing like that.
They're too late.
Now, when I was a kid, I used to live in this apartment where a lot of people claimed that it was haunted. I'm not going to say the location. But when I was there, dude, I was there in my own room, man. And this was years ago, dude. I was very, very young. I was sleeping in the room, and I was told that the apartment where we were staying at, like, someone actually died in that apartment per se, right? That's cool. So I'm there. I wake up like around 2ish. I wake up like at 2ish. I wake up like at 2ish in the morning. And I'm just there staring at the closet. The closet was open. I had an open closet. And it was one of those closets where it had like a white, it was like a metal type of ordeal where you put the doors open and it was like a white looking closet. And yeah, it was empty, but whenever you have the lights off, it was completely darkness. Now, I was constantly staring at it. My body felt warm. I felt like something was watching me. I was staring at it. And I literally see a dark figure walk out of that closet, walk out of my room with the door being open. And it goes, and it, like, I freak out. And it was at the point where I wanted to scream, but I was so scared, I couldn't do it. And then I decide, you know what, I want to go to the hallway and, I want to explain to the parents what I saw. So when I did that, when I walked in the hallway, when I opened up the door at where my mom was sleeping at, I actually see what I saw walk out of the fucking of the closet, but it was staring at my mom. That's so creepy. it actually leans to my mom, like if it was gonna fall on top of her, and I ended up screaming. And when I screamed, my mom woke up, and whatever the hell I saw disappeared. And so
I can just imagine you screaming like,
it was a loud scream, dude. I woke her up finally, and I just told her, like, I saw a fucking ghost, and I never believed in it.
Wait,
it was a dark figure, man.
How old were you?
I was like 12.
Okay, at 12 years old, you're like,
yeah, I was like,
I saw a fucking ghost.
I saw a fucking ghost, man. But I never forgotten upon that experience. I'm 30 years old now, and I still remember that to this day.
That's fucking creepy.
So,
and that's what I experienced.
I'll tell y'all one that I just had recently.
Ah, shit, no.
So,
don't bring no spirits in my house, nigga.
So if y'all don't know,
don't bring no
if you don't know,
we got someone new. Oh, we actually got multiple people new in the building.
We shouted out.
Let's give them a shout out.
We shouted out Kojak.
My wife put the brown dude in yellow, hard eyes.
Oh, that's your wife? I'm like, he's married.
I'm like, thank you for saying that.
We take care of him, Crystal. We take care of him.
Yo, Chan Cleta is your wife?
Chan Cleta.
Good to have you. Chan Cleta. And Coda, what's good? What's good?
Chan Cleta.
Guys, welcome. We're having scary talks, ghost stories. Put something in the chat if you want us to talk about it.
We've been talking for what? A little over an hour.
An hour or 2 minutes.
A little over an hour.
Like,
but how many people?
It goes by quick.
How many people are in the stream now?
Honestly, I can't check. I have my phone over there.
Well, anyways, don't matter. We're still having fun with y'all. So
120.
The most recent experience I had, I'm sure a few of y'all, I don't know if y'all know the trails here in town, but I'm always going to say it wrong, but Peach Schnabel.
I thought it was Schnabel or some shit.
Schnabel.
I always call it Peach Schnabel. But anyways, I was out there walking recently, right? And the tale out there is that there was this girl that she fell off the cliff.
Off the side, that rock, yeah.
Yeah, she fell off the cliff on the side, right? And she died.
Damn.
So
everyone, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We gotta say hi to Matt's wife. She said hi to us.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, babe.
Okay. I was about to say
but so my girlfriend that I'm with, she went to school with this girl. She didn't know her fondly, like intimately, like, like they were super close, but they knew of each other and they've had conversations. I didn't know that up until that day.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend had never told me this. So when we started out on the trail, right before we got to that spot where it's the crossing right there, where they have it marked off, I saw somebody sitting in the bike trail.
Oh shit.
Because there's an actual trail and then there's a bike trail that's just right offside the trail. But it was a woman sitting there, and she had long brown hair, and she didn't turn back. And I stopped and I looked down the walkway to see this person because I was just like,
because it's the pathway, and then there's a little offshoot that goes to where it happened.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
so there's bike trails. Yeah, so you see just sheer cliff drops basically. So I looked at this person. We're walking pretty quietly through the trails. I usually do. You know, I don't ever take music or anything. I just kind of wander. But so I caught it, and I saw her. And then when we were getting to the spot after we came out of the trail, that's when my girlfriend told me about her knowing the girl.
Oh.
And she was like, yeah, like, I know her. Like, we had class together. We had a class together, and this and this
So
and
she was
that.
our age?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
She's our age. So, we're about 30, so that give y'all a age out there. But, yeah, so, I don't know. I thought it was very strange because, you know, you're familiar with the trails. Mm-hmm. There's really no reason for somebody just sitting on a bike trail because the bikes do go through there. So, you do run the potential risk of getting hit by a bike just not seeing you.
Yeah. Even just being on, like, the actual paved trail, you can get hit.
Yeah, because they
just be sitting there.
And nobody with her, nobody with this lady. And when I went back, I mean, we were in the trail for maybe a good hour and a half, but I usually will see everybody that comes in and off the trails. Didn't see anybody that looked like that person ever again at that point. And then here's the crazy part is that when my girlfriend told me she knew the girl, I said, what does she look like? And she said,
Don't mind miss what she looked like.
Yeah, like, she's like, she had dark hair, and it was about maybe shoulder length, and I said, was it curly? She said, yeah, it was like a wave to it. I think she had like a wave in her hair. Yeah. And it looked exactly almost like that. Like just brown hair to the shoulder, wavy, and
that's weird.
Just looking out at the fucking the drops off, the whole field that's out there now. But
yeah, you're pretty much looking at the top of the canopy if you're on the cliff top.
But hey, you know, that was pretty out there. Being in the woods, sometimes you see some crazy things, man.
Can I be able to share one more story?
Of course.
All right.
Wait. Let's let Matt have a turn.
All right, man.
I already told my scary story was about the Silent Hill fucking.
Oh, that was it?
Okay. We got another?
Right, since I didn't have one, I'll come out with another one.
All right, cool. So here's another story, folks. This one's going to include two other people, and I have witnesses. Now, it's not only just me, folks. I used to be in a band called At Gunpoint. There's the ex-guitarist named Anthony. I have another ex-drummer named Herman.
You were sitting there, Crystal? You were on that bike trail?
So after band practice, man, because I went over there. Like my friend, is around like Pleasanton area per se. I ain't gonna tell you his actual address. I'll just tell you the area. Pleasanton in the South Side in San Antonio, Texas. We're there. We're done practicing our band session. All right. Hey, let's go and give Flash a ride back home. So they give me a ride back. On the way back, we see this lady. Now, wait. Before I even talk about the lady, there was trees and nothing but forest on the right side. Same thing on the left side. And the street that they were going to take me to was just literally street. It was completely forest on the left, forest on the right. Now they slowly made the right turn into that street, and we just see someone there walk from out of the trees slowly, and then Anthony was like, hold on, let's pull over. He, out of curiosity, he wanted to see what that person was going to do. Now, I don't know if that was an asshole move per se, but he apparently had a feeling. So, obviously, Herman
I got a feeling.
He put over, and we're just there. He turned the lights off, and we're just staring at that person, seeing what they're going to do. Now, this person walks to the middle of the road. She grabs something from the street, puts it in her mouth, and we don't know what it is.
Ma'am, that
She
hypodermic
turns
needle.
around, and then she goes back into the trees of the forest, which leads you to nowhere. So we're just there like, what the hell did we just witness? Now, the way it looked was very scary because just how the lady looked at herself, it was long hair. It was gray. It was white. It looked. She was wearing this long dress, and it was just kind of awkward. I mean, like it's not normal to see someone walk from trees and it's literally nowhere. They walk to the middle of the street, pick up something, whatever it is, put it in their mouth, and then walk back. It was just kind of awkward.
It was probably some kid who lost their retainer.
So Herman panicked,
Put it back.
and then just like speed directly like. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe we're seeing this. He got scared. He pulled off. He was driving like 100 miles per hour. And he dropped me off. But regardless, it was just like...
Nick and I used to watch fucking scary shit on YouTube and just scare the shit out of each other.
Yeah. And that'll be something in the future too, guys. We'll have the scare challenges. Try not to be scared challenges with those videos. But, you know, some of those videos, they're pretty out there, man.
Yeah, man.
It is.
You know, they capture some crazy things on there. As for me, you know, I know one time I watched these ghost hunters that are here in town. I'll have to think of the channel and give them a shout out at another time. But they actually went down to the Sheraton Gunther downtown. Mm-hmm. And I've been in there, and I used to valet downtown, so there's been some crazy stories I hear of the downtown area. But there in particular, there's a few ghost stories. One of the most popular ones is that there was a murderer that he checked into a room at the Sheraton Gunther. The maid came in to clean the room, and when she came into the room to clean it, there was blood everywhere all over the room.
Oh, shit.
And there was a person that had been taken apart, and there was a guy standing there covered in the blood. Well, she screamed, she freaked out, she ran out of the hotel room, and this guy jumped out the window, down the fire escape right there on Travis Street, and ran down to the St. Anthony's Hotel. So they went looking for him on a manhunt, didn't realize that he was just right there in the St. Anthony's Hotel, finally found him, and then he killed himself.
Oh, wow.
So what happened there, though, is they say that on the ghost hunting video, the most paranormal activity in the Gunther is in the kitchen areas and all that. And so with that one, I don't know if it's necessarily maybe that spirit that they caught, but in the kitchen, they have it on the video where they caught a shadow figure like within the door, like you know how some doors have the windows?
Yeah.
They caught it looking at them through the door through a light, and then the light turned off.
Fuck that.
Oh.
Like, so, and there's nobody down there. There's nobody
we're gonna have to cover all that fucking lure downtown because that's
yes.
Man, that would be. Can we actually like go over there?
No,
I will broadcast it over there.
No, I'm not doing that.
I'm totally game.
You can, but
you do it yourself.
You run the risk of getting kicked out.
Yeah, I was like, you do it yourself. I'm not. I told you. I don't.
No, I'll go with you.
Do you remember that one time we went to Sheraton Gunther with Dano, and we had we had downloaded a ghost meter.
Oh my god! It was like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Was that legit?
We're running around all drunk in the hallways, like.
It was Nick, our friend Tim, and I, and we were just walking through the fucking hallways with this stupid fake ghost. But it felt ugly in there.
It felt weird.
Nasty.
It felt weird.
So, on that note, Nick, I mean, we've been rocking here for a while. We do appreciate everybody who came and rocked with us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nick,
cheers.
Take us home, big dog.
Cheers.
Well, ultimately, I think at this point we're going to be setting things on the table here for you guys. We like to just get it out here and be us. So thank you for tuning in here. Stay tuned. There's definitely going to be more content to be put out. We definitely just want to thank y'all all for tuning in.
Cool. Can we just call it tent?
Yeah.
Not content.
Content.
We got that.
What a tent. Flash and share page. Give the official goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us live on Twitch, as well for hearing us through the audio podcast. It's always a pleasure to have each and every one of your company. We definitely and are grateful of having you for just visiting, even if it's just for a short period of time or for the whole entire episode. We are grateful for every one of your presence. Thank you so much for just giving us a moment of your time. I am Flash for San Antonio, Texas. We got Third Coast Nick, Mr. Sancho, and your boy Big. And we all want to thank you personally from the bottom of our hearts. And we hope to see you here more often. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and call it the end of the episode.